we'll start off with the good old Discovery Education site. Okay, now you have a link here for Discovery Education that you can use. So let me get out of all the other stuff.
You could shake your screen.
I could have, yeah. Now every teacher in the district is supposed to have their own username and password. Supposed to is a big word. If you don't, you can contact me and I can either get it for you. What typically happens is you tell me you don't have it, and then I look it up and I send it to you through an email, your username and password, or if it's just your username you need or just your password, typically does it that way. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. I think now it sends both username and password to you. I used to have, but I think it does that. And then actually the link, if I remember right, resets your password. So it's, you click on that and then you can go in through that link, change your password. I'm going to show you.
Would that work for me as a student teacher?
What I would suggest is what you do, what I'll show you here, because there's a generic account. And it pretty much does the exact same thing as a teacher, but it's 231 student and 231 student for password. So now Discovery Education is, they like to change things very often. So what you see now, if you log in 2 weeks, you might not, they might change things, but they somewhat have stayed the same for the last year and a half anyway. So I like butterflies, so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do a search for butterflies.
Why doesn't my screen look like this?
Have you logged in recently?
Yeah, I just now logged in.
Oh, okay. You are in a teacher screen, and what the teacher screen can do is you can save videos.
Right.
It has a place to save
Oh,
videos, and the student, you don't have that. And you have some things that you probably don't have because you're the one creating the assignments and the resource stuff. So, but yeah, there will be some things up here that you can actually, and once you have your own teacher stuff that you want, you can save videos that you found. What I would suggest you do, even if you're doing the teacher stuff, is do your research in Discovery Education and then upload it to your computer and use it from your computer, because you'll find out that you're typically doing your research in the afternoon when nobody's on and everything runs fine. But then at 11 o'clock, it buffers and buffers and buffers and buffers. So I'm going to show you how you save your videos. So we'll do butterfly. Okay. And there's all sorts of different things that you have. And you're as a teacher, they will change over here your categories, but you'll have just different categories. But you have video segments, you have songs, you have newspaper clips that they might have. I'll do this Mexican butterfly migration. So I clicked on that, and what it ends up showing here is all the segments that it talked about. Here's the Mexican butterfly migration video segment, but it came from the big thing about global warp, or RAP, sorry. So that's how that works. So, and this is where they like to change things and how to actually make it so that you can save it. They've stayed with download for the last probably 3 years, but if you click on download, it tells you right up here the instructions. You want to right mouse click on the little down arrow and then select save target or link, depending on what version you're at. I'm in Chrome, so I'm going to save link. So we'll do this segment. We'll do a right mouse click. And I don't know my right from left, so same thing I tell my kids. Okay, and there's save link as. If you are having students do this, they have continually decreased your storage capacity of students. H drives is now at 200 megabytes. I don't know what this particular video is, but I would probably guess for this, what is it, 3 minutes or something like that. Well, I only did 42 seconds, but it's probably several megabytes large, just for 42 seconds.
Can you save this to something like Edmodo, to where when they get into Edmodo, the video would be there?
You can, and I can show you actually how to do that. Let's actually save this video. United States budget battle begins. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to put it on my desktop. Okay? So I'll save it, and I'm in Edmodo. I will get into Edmodo. And I'll put it on my 5th period class. Come up here, and you can hit, well, probably the best thing to do would just put it in the library. Yeah, so I'll go to library, add it to library, add a file. It is limited to 100 megabytes, so it looks like that particular video. Well, we don't know. It's 1.89, so it shouldn't be any problem. Put it on.
Cool.
Okay, so it's going to do its little thing.
Valerie Reyes.
We'll add it.
Valerie Reyes.
There it is right there.
Oh, that is so cool.
So
The main office.
add it
Valerie
here.
Reyes. Also,
We come and put
after school
library.
you turn your radio
Actually,
on,
that's
please.
this last one. What I found in Edmodo is there's not a very good organization, so you have to kind of remember what you save things as, because I've got all this stuff saved, and scroll through that, figure out what it was. It's kind of tough, so you kind of have to remember, but it's right there. So then I attach it. Yeah, put something there like US and send. And now it's right there. And we click on it. Students will open up by clicking on open. Mine does it that way. So and it should play the video. So yeah.
On Monday,
Love
President
that.
Obama sent
Very
Congress.
cool.
So that's how you can do that. So, all right, where was I? Go back to my presentation here. Looks like I lost it up there. All right, and the other thing, well, any other questions about Discovery Education? I should probably go back. Explain that a little bit more. Because, so you have your download there. If you want to do the whole video, which is only 3 minutes and 53 seconds long, but you can do the same thing. So that's how I would suggest you do it. It makes it so that then you can go in, you can file it however you want to. So, other questions on Discovery Education? All right, schools.clipart.com. Nice thing about schools.clipart.com is it is a free site for anybody in the district. So if parents have kids in the district, which we all have parents, our parents that are, they can use this site. Kids can use this site. We can use this site. So it's schools.clipart.com. Username's Hadley and the password's USD259. Oops.
Hadley and what?
USD 259. No WW, as I tell my kids, schools.clipart.com. You gotta spell it right. A lot of people, kids forget the S at the end of schools. And for some reason, students can't spell clipart. Don't know why. But then you have this site, and you have Hadley, goes in the first blank, and USD 259. And anything that's in the site is public domain for, the district has already purchased it. It's not technically public domain, but they can use it. So it brings up, and you have this, and you have clip art that you can search through, vinyl ready, that I guess would be stuff that you could put on t-shirts right away. Photos, which would be things taken actually by camera. Things that are a little bit smaller for web graphics. They have categories for that. 3D clip art, illustrations. I don't really, not done too much with that. Photo objects, I haven't really done with that. You can download fonts and sounds as well. So we'll keep it simple and do like dogs. And hit search. And you have your dogs. If I change that into photos, do a search, then you have things taken by camera. Your vinyl ready is things that are more ready to go onto like a t-shirt or something like that.
John, I'm sorry, what did you say the password was? I'm writing this down.
USD 259. So
Username
school, and then district. Web graphics are the same, but they're really detailed, somewhat detailed, but tinier pictures. 3D clip art are more of a popping type photo. They're still clip arts, but kind of have some depth to them. We'll go ahead and look at illustrations and see what the difference is. Not really for sure. Most of them don't have a lot of color to them. So that one.
No, that, this one.
Two-headed dog? Nope, they're beside each other.
Okay.
It did look
Yeah.
like.
Because that backlight's hidden there.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you see when I clicked on
I
that,
was like, whoa.
Siamese dog.
you have your formats down here. You want to be careful of what you do. A PNG, if you have a picture and say that's all this dark gray area was white, it will, when you put it into something, that white is not there than a PNG. So if you do a JPEG or a GIF, you would get the whole box. A PNG is more of a vinyl ready that it's not going to have anything that's on that would be white or the color of your background. You've shrunk yourself into that. So with, like I say, transparent background. So like this one, it wouldn't matter because it already has color. But if I were to go back and say do this part here, well, it's saved as a JPEG. But if it would have been a PNG, then anything that would be white would not be there. You would only be seeing the lines. If that makes sense. So, oops. Photo objects, I would imagine, are similar to photos, but well, they are, but they have more of the white. You don't see the background behind them. So, and then, like I said, you have your fonts, you have your sounds. So, nice thing again, because it's free, you don't have to worry about going into Google and searching for a picture and Duke University coming back and suing you.
Do we have to put where you got that? Do they need to put?
If you were to
references
really, technically, yeah, you'd say, you got this.
from
If
the
your students are putting pictures into your stuff, they still have to, even though it's.
Reference it.
Yeah, reference it. So,
Thank you.
and the problem necessarily with that is, if they don't, then it becomes their, the way it works is it becomes their copyright, and then we have all sorts of problems. So, all right, that's that. And then the fun one, which is free district stuff. So money savers, that if you go into our district site, let's do something. Any of the sites, you have the staff only. You want to click on staff only. It'll always ask you for your password when you go in through your portal, but you have a employee discounts. Okay, and still asking for my password. So, and you have all these places here that you can actually save money by saying from the district. So get a 10% from Ace Hardware.
Vivo.
So
Yeah.
fitness. Usually, when I reference it, I'm going to the Microsoft site, and if you were to go out to the store and buy Microsoft or Windows 8,
Yeah.
I believe it's around $400. I don't know. It's actually cheaper, maybe $300. But if I go into the Microsoft site here, let's see if they have Windows 8.
8.1. $9.95.
$9.95.
Dang.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's like, what in the world?
It says staff what?
Like if you were to go in and get Microsoft Office,
Wow.
it's going to be, I think it's or $400 bucks. And you get it for.
Are you limited as to how many times you can download that?
Depends on, sometimes it has to be a download, and they usually,
That's different.
yeah, some of them are only downloadable. Some of them you pay like $5 extra for them to send you the disk.
But can you only put it on one computer, or can you repurchase it for more than one computer?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Can I
You
purchase
could.
5 licenses if I want to?
Well, there's not any licenses,
Oh.
but
I can purchase.
like on
five.
I bought Windows 8 through this. And I
Okay.
think I paid $19.95 for Windows 8 on a disk. And I can put it, and from that, I can put it on 4 computers
Okay.
legally. I don't know, I have not tried it yet. I've tried it on Windows 7, and I have yet to not have it work on, I'm probably in the teens as far as putting on computers. So,
Wow.
possibly, they say that and I'm sure that they do this, that Microsoft monitors all that stuff, but I'm not really putting it on more than probably 3 computers at one time. That I put on this computer and then I'm gonna have to re-image it and stuff like that. Or I'm not really using that computer anymore, I'm using it in a year or 2. So the most I probably have it on is maybe 3 computers. The other thing is district also has a little thing for that it's a district computer. Anyway, but you have other things. And what's interesting is anytime I talk about this, somebody always comes up and says, yeah, if you go into Chili's and say you're a USB 259 employee, oh, they'll take 15% off your check. And it's not on here. I don't think Chili's is on here. So Chili's is just something I did. But a lot of the places And unfortunately, the thing is you have to say that you're a USD 259 employee before they'll give it to you. But,
And is it good enough to show our this, or you have to have?
you know, I don't know.
Okay.
You have your, well, I used to have the little card
Right.
thing that you have, but now you have to print those off. So I don't know whether they would do, how you have to prove that you're a USD 259 employee, but my suggestion would be to ask. You want to have a discount for USD 259 employees? 10% is 10%, so.
Right.
Saves you your tip. So that's that. So, and the last thing is just synergy questions. And this was just going to be if you have anything on synergy that you wanted to ask.
Yes. Typically, when we're printing off class rosters for a week, so we can take track of their tardies for the week, how do you do that?
If you're to keep, or you're just wanting the form,
Just like a blank attendance form.
well,
Is there any way to do that from Synergy? Because it has your students, listed, and then it has the dates throughout the whole,
Right.
however many days.
You can print off a blank grade book.
I think this is what you're talking about here.
How can we get rid of these messages? So
Yeah,
irritating.
well, you can't. It's the districts.
Same thing every day.
Yeah.
You get told,
Right.
this person joined your class, this person left. Every day.
Right.
It's like they left a month ago.
Okay, so we'll go into this class here. Okay, so I think this is what you're talking about. I think you want to go into reports. And then I think class roster. And then let me see if it pops up what you want. Tell me. This is what, when you start talking, that's what I thought you needed. And then you,
I think you
the
probably.
issue with that is it's not blank because it's filling in for what's currently happening. We're up to Wednesday.
Right.
Go, if you go to,
I think you are wanting these to be blank, right?
Those to be blank, yes, and then also it's like multiple dates, like
so,
like 2 weeks worth.
Yeah, this is just 1 week.
Right.
can I show him this one?
Okay,
Go
sure.
to gradebook reports.
So grade book.
Gradebook,
Reports.
click on gradebook main.
Okay. And then go to reports. Over here, right?
Yeah,
Reports
reports,
here.
and then look at it, blank gradebook.
So blank grade.
Blank grade,
Blank.
next one down, yeah, that one.
Okay.
And you can
And
take
then,
it.
and then you can print for as many classes as you need to,
Right,
so
so
you can run
here.
selected classes and click all of them. And then go down to run report.
Before you do that, real quick, if you go up there, right under blank gradebook, you can export it, click
It's
on
in
that,
Excel.
and put it in Excel, and then you can add your dates.
Yeah.
Sign it.
PDF, you're not going to be able to.
And you can get rid of this include overall grades, so that doesn't show up.
Okay.
And we'll see what that looks like. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then if you want to.
You can run your dates across